process of cooking for the troops?
Well, Cooking with the Troops came actually out of two separate efforts. Co-founder Bob Miller was doing barbecues at Walter Reed since 2005. Well, somebody forgot to pay the light bill. I got started doing food events with the troops as a result of my first embed in Iraq. I went over as a blogger, embedded with the troops.
Whoa, wait, what?
Yes, I went over. I was a blogger, journalist for Black 5 Mill blog, and actually lived with the troops, went out on patrols, whatever they were doing that they would let me do, I went with them. Recorded photos, a little bit of video, not a lot, not as much as I wanted.
Yeah.
And so coming back, though, I came back through Landstuhl Regional Medical Center in Germany, which is where all the wounded first go. Looked around and said, I got to do something for these people. And took a little while, but I went back and did a steak dinner for 128th. An interesting story about how we got our name is that we were doing stuff for the troops.
Right.
And that meal, this guy comes up to me. I'm an Army cook. I haven't been able to do anything for the guys for 6 months. They've had me sidelined. Can I help? Okay, sure. Check him out. Sure enough, yes, he was a cook. He knew what he was doing. Well, we get out. We're grilling steaks. We got 128 or so choice New York strip steaks. We're out grilling them. And he gets on the grill, he starts doing, and then I start getting hip bumped. The next thing I know, he's down there, and it's just like, yours, you're doing it. We're cooking with the troops now. And so that was when we started doing things with, because we actually try to get them involved. When we're doing things, we don't mind them coming. It's like, hey, can I help? Sure. Here's what we're doing. Oh, this needs doing. Can you do it? And so Bob and I did a joint event about 1.5 years ago. Realized, yes, this worked. This is great. We can do a lot more. So we created Cooking with the Troops. We incorporated just a little over 1 year ago so that we could not only do food events, but culinary career transition assistance, particularly for the wounded that have to come out and need a new career. We're launching a new home front support program in July out at Brooke Army Medical Center. The focus of that is how to do good food fast rather than fast food.
How to do good food fast rather than fast food.
Indeed, and we've got one part of the program is set up for working with the wounded. One is set up for working with adults, the spouses, parents, significant others that have someone deployed. It's a way to help them out and at the same time give them a little bit of something fun, different to do. And one for the kids. Because people forget the kids get stressed out too. You know, mommy, daddy's away, they know, the kids know they're in danger. So it gives the kids something fun to do and teaches them some valuable skills so that and a bit of nutrition so that they're eating right from the start. And then our final program is frontline support, which is indirect. Okay, what do you send the troops in a care package?
I always ask that because I never know for sure what they need or what would translate well over there, if something would go bad. I don't know.
Right, and so
I want to send them apple pie, but I don't know if I can.
That might not ship so well. It's sort of like sending chocolate in the summer. It's a bad idea. It's ugly. So we're going to develop a section of our website with recipes, with tips, the tricks that the people who've been doing this a while, the mothers, the others, you know, all the lessons they've learned, good recipes, things we know they'll love. And
what even the troops have their home cooking that they miss too, or that one meal that their mother always makes for them, that sort of thing, like the comfort meal.
Comfort food. Yeah. Well, that's something we're actually hoping to do through direct support. If we get a sponsor for this program, it will send a person over to Afghanistan to live with the troops, do an embed, let them tell their stories, and provided that the military agrees, we would like to do at least 2 special food events at one or two of the forward bases while we're there. So that we can give them that comfort food, because let's say food is comfort. Yeah. And it's a reminder of better things. It can help dealing with stress. Give them
And
something
it's something
fun.
familiar.
Right, and it reminds them that they are not forgotten, that the people back here appreciate them.
Such a feel good. I mean, everything about it is such a feel good.
It really is, and the nice thing is we're helping educate, we're helping teach, but it's not a lecture, it's not a class, it's not a it's hey, let's have fun with this. And they enjoy it. The food events have been a big hit. Give you an idea, when Bob fires up the grills at Walter Reed, the smell wafts among the buildings. We've had people from the main building that is supposedly hermetically sealed and air conditioned send people over saying, I smelled that. I want a plate.
Nice. Well, you just touched upon something else too, is that I come from a military family. Traditionally, a lot of people in my family have been Marines or Navy or whatever, and food has always been community.
Yes.
So when I think about the military and I think about food, I think about all of the recipes that my grandmother gathered from living all over the country on different military bases, and the housing there. And, just how that became sort of an introduction between her and the other military wives and families while their husbands or again, wives too, were away.
Right.
So do you play off of that as well? It's the comfort, but also the community that comes from food?
Yes, and that's what we're looking to foster a bit. We're also, honestly, we're going to put together some cookbooks.
Yeah.
We've had people from the military families that have offered some recipes. We've had some well-known chefs like Chef Jose Andres, PBS show. He's just sent a recipe, said, yes, indeed,
Wow.
make it happen. So we want to do that. We want to bring people together, and it's a way of, as we do that, we're networking, and you find out, hey, so-and-so needs this. This other person's looking for this, or you get somebody comes up and says, yeah, I really am interested in a food career. I want to open my own place. And that way we can find out who's interested and help them make it happen. Because power of a community, it's amazing.
Well, there you go, power of the community. And there's also this thing called an online community and a social online community. So why are you here at Blog World?
Well, we are here in part because somebody donated a booth, but we have been using new and social media from the start. That is how we raised the money to issue our first press release.
Wow, that's great. Did you do like a microfinancing?
Well, actually, we just put out on Twitter and Facebook that, hi, we need to raise $500 to have this release go out. And the next thing, within a week, we have the donations to do it. As we started saying we need money to do this, people have stepped forward. We've actually gotten our liability insurance covered that way. We also just did Operation Fight Post Holiday Blues. That was a special event in Germany. It was created by Gina Elise of Pinups for Vets. She came up with the idea, contacted me. We used Facebook, Twitter, and her blog, the military blog I'm part of, put the word out, and we actually raised just a bit shy of $6,000 that covered us to go to Germany, do a special event, go visit several different places, and make a big difference. And we also served one heck of a good meal. We took a
I was
special
going to say,
guest
what did
out.
you make? Come on, you want to tell me.
Oh, yes. We had actually a guest chef, Ellen Adams. She's a professional chef in Rochester, New York. Went over. She is a 20-year Air Force veteran, used her GI benefits to go back to culinary school.
What a great example.
Yeah, U.S. and Italy. So she's got a little thing for Italian cooking as a result. So
Yum.
Oh, yes. We did up rigatoni with one vegetarian, one with meat sauce, everything you could be looking for, salad and some sides, and it was delicious. We fed about 100 people at Landstuhl at the USO
Wow.
Warrior Center. So, and Bain Books works with us. They are big into new and social media as well. So one of their authors, who's also a veteran, went with us. Bain donated more than 100 books for him to sign and give away. So we had all these things going on, and it really worked out great.
Well, what's interesting too, I would imagine, is that a lot of people, when they think of the military, they don't think of social media necessarily. And at the last Blog World, at the last one in Vegas, the military was there. And, they were talking about some of their initiatives as well. And then you come along and, this is such a great example of how social media, blogging and whatnot can still benefit the military somehow in an appropriate way.
Yes, and the military is moving into new and social media. And it's interesting because it's from the bottom up.
Yeah.
And it's great to watch. The mill blogs were the start. These were the people over there wanting to talk primarily with family, but it began, there are other people interested. Here's things you need to know. Here's how things are done. Here's what's going on in my little corner of the world. Yeah. And it was a great way to also occasionally deal with stress. You do have the occasional Lady Gaga remix. And as General Petraeus pointed out at Blog World, that's not necessarily indicative of the situation on the ground. But they are moving into it. And so it's also a way people let us know when, hey, we're interested. Can you come do this? Right. Our biggest problem right now is that I've got at least 10 requests for things that I can't do simply because we don't have the funding. So that's one of the things we're looking for.
If people want to help you out, then how can they? Where should they go?
cwtt.org. We're also on Facebook, Fans of Cooking with the Troops. We're on Twitter, CWT Troops, and they can go to our website, donate. Companies can actually sponsor events, so that if you want to be the sole sponsor of a barbecue at Walter Reed or other facility, we can make that happen. If you want to sponsor one of our European events, that's a little more expensive, but it covers multiple bases. There's a strong educational component, and you get full sponsorship credit, signage, banners. We're going to shout you to the stars on Twitter, Facebook, and really push that, because we do appreciate our corporate sponsors like Bain Books and others that have stepped up. We just had Messermeister, Hinkle Knives, Microplane
Hinkle knives are great.
Aren't they? I've used
so sharp.
I've used them, and they have been really good to us. Microplane graters, which are amazing if you've never used one. And believe it or not, Le Creuset, a French company, they do wonderful.
They're wonderful. So many people are obsessed with them.
I want their pots. I really want their pots. Yeah. But they have these wonderful high-temperature silicone spatulas that can be used so many ways. They just donated 60 of them for us to give as part of the chef's kits we're going to be doing with the home front support. So we really do appreciate it, and we're looking for other companies that will step up with products, step up, sponsor events, and for example, whatever company steps up for the front line, they're not just getting a one-day thing. They are getting a broadcast quality trailer on every video we do that gets posted that's related to the front line. They're getting credit on all the blog posts wherever they go up. That
great.
Be there. Not to mention, of course, we're going to have them on our website, on Facebook, on Twitter. But you've got the long-lasting as well as the spike.
Yeah. Now, are you familiar with Bakespace.com?
No, I'm not.
You should meet Babette with Bakespace.com. She's based in Los Angeles, and I'm sure that there's something that could happen between the two of you, because it's a social network for baking.
That sounds great, and it sounds like a perfect meeting for Blog World in November.
Exactly, and I am sure that Bakespace will be there. You think? Yeah.
I think so.
She usually does a whole food track.
There's going to be, Little Birdie has mentioned that there's going to be a lot of food, and
maybe there might be a little bit of food blogging and actual food at Blog World LA.
So I think that would be great.
All right. Well, we shall make that happen then.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, C. Blake.
Oh, thank you very much. And
Cute as a button, Blake.
that might be pushing it just a hair.
Great talking
You
with you,
are.
though. Oh, thank you. And just another great example of meeting a real need. And even though it initially is offline, you have found ways to bring it online and build community there as well.
Yes, and it's been amazing, and Blog World, as always, is amazing.
We think so. Yeah, definitely. So, C. Blake, Cooking with the Troops. With the Troops. Make sure you check them out.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Talk to you soon and see you in LA.
Yes. Thank you.